coming up. Is it spiritual to eat meat? And answering all your questions with live readings coming up right now.
He said it was like a Devin or David.
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table. No, you said like to summon your end table. This too.
My God, we're crazy.
Yeah, he's saying hi, baby girl. He's saying hi, baby girl. And is there significance with like image of a rose at all?
He would
Does that
always
make sense?
give me a rose.
Okay, so he's like doing one now. He's saying to work with some sort of like vibrational machine, somehow a way to work with like machinery and vibration.
I work with horses, and there's actually some MagnaWave therapy that's vibrational.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
So he doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Allow yourself to hear yourself. Allow yourself to feel yourself. Allow yourself to talk to yourself. Allow yourself to respond to yourself. That's looking within.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here?
There's a reason why we're on this timeline. There's a reason why we've chosen to be in this awakening. I say we're going through a spiritual awakening.
So I don't just come on here and talk bull and repeat. I'm living this stuff.
In harmony with nature, in a mystical adventure, we're building on a culture.
Happy Thursday Night Live, everybody. Welcome aboard. How was your week since last week? It's a little heavy. What y'all feeling? You feeling a carnal energy? You feeling that splitting? Have you been able to resolve that past shadow version and resurrect the light version of self? Are you in that process that we talked about last week? We'll find out. Those of you who are new, welcome aboard. We do live readings too and a discussion. So the discussion today is it spiritual to eat meat? I'm sure you'll be surprised by my answer. And we'll get into that in a moment. And then we do a collective read first to start. And after that, we will do live readings. So it's $15 for a card pull, $20 for one question, $30 for two questions, $40 for a live video with me. And the PayPal and Venmo links are in the description. So make sure you follow the directions there, and our wonderful mod Nina will guide you and direct you if you have any questions on getting that done. So get them in now, because I will be closing them down, then you won't have the opportunity to get one in today. So get them in now. Let's see who's in the room. We have Scott Cruz Psychic Mediums in the room. Christy Razi or Razi, I screwed it up last time, so I'm probably screwing it up now. So Christy, we'll say welcome aboard. Wonderful mod Nina is here. Brenda Zwek, welcome. David Cruz, what up? Poppy, Iggy, good to see you. I'm just scrolling down. You guys have been chatty Kathy. Jennifer Cruz, hello. That's my mother. Eric, good to see you. Erica, MOD, good to see you, love. Lisa Cruz, good to see you as always. Isaac Madrano, my brother from another mother, good to see you in Connecticut there. PC Monkey the Third and Cat Reader. Daryl Blankenship, my brother, good to see you in here too. AC, what's going on? Yes, hey, it's Scott Thursday, okay. And it's also AC Thursday, and everybody else in the room's Thursday too. It's all of our Thursdays. Who else do we have here? We have Michelle Bell, good to see you in Toronto-ish. How's the weather there? It's hot here in Palm Springs, so I'm sure nothing can compare. Dana Marie Walsh, great catching you first time aboard. Welcome aboard. Great to see you. Hope you have an enjoyable time. We have a wacky Duke crew here in the chat. Kate, another first time. Good forward to you. Look forward to seeing you for the first time, so welcome aboard. Cascading Catalyst, hey, good to see you too. Lady Larson, and I guess I can go on and on. You guys have been chatting for a while. Blondie, good to see you. BL, good to see you. Beth, good to see you. Welcome there. Any more shout outs? Zen Gen Fitness, good to see you. Carmen Schatz, hello. Jennifer Heaton, we can go on. And those of you who are chatting, welcome. Those of you who are watching, I can't see you, so I can't address you. So hello, because I got, again, I can only see who's chatting in the room. So let's just hop into it. And it's actually, Spirit is telling me that it's Michelle Bell's birthday today. So happy birthday, Michelle Bell. I want to give Michelle Bell a happy birthday. I think that she is probably 25. 25-ish in Toronto-ish. So Michelle Bell, happy birthday, my love. Glad to see you. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Sending you some birthday love. And let's get the collective read going on here. Let's find some sort of music here that's not so boring. Okay, let's see. Let's get the collective read. And so, just so you guys know, I use tarot for collective purposes like this. I'm not a tarot reader, even though I can read tarot. I don't necessarily need tarot to do my readings, but it's fun for collective purposes and for, quick polls and so forth like that to give direction. So let's get into the collective read here. Okay, shuffling. Okay, so I don't remember quite the last week's read. I remember because we in Gemini season, and the splitting of duality of self, and the splitting of duality of the shadow version versus the newer version. So I remember we've been going through that process and momentum. But let's kind of see what the message from Spirit is now as we were shuffling there. It's funny because they were kind of hard to shuffle in the beginning. Now they're kind of opening up, becoming looser. So that might be part of the message too. Maybe you guys are opening up more. Maybe the tension that you guys have been experiencing is causing you to actually open up more. And so I do feel an openness of energy. So let's see if we can elaborate more on that based on this. But that's kind of the general vibe I'm feeling. And every time I shuffle the cards for the collective, it's always an indication of where the energy is at. Yeah, the mic is moving because I'm shuffling. It's all connected to my desk, and I have an extension. So when I pound the desk, everything kind of pounds too. So I'm trying to prevent that. But I figure, we're not here. Beauty Way Tarot, good to see you. Okay. Oh, interesting. And we're starting with the Two of Pentacles already with duality again. Here's a repetitive message, but it can be something different. Okay, interesting. Wow. Ooh, right. Pull some oracles. We're going to channel the frig out of this message, too. I like the guidance here. Have you guys, we talk a lot about spirituality, and I think it's a good fitting read, too, for the topic that I'm about to go into, right? About, is it spiritual to eat meat? So when we get into this. So, but when we talk about eating and consumption, we always talk about spirituality, but we never really talk about the body and how important is health and the body and the connection of the mind, body, and soul connection. And my phrase is always aligning the mind with the soul. Okay? So interesting. Well, the oracle cards there. So with the Two of Pentacles, in this topic, we're talking about the mind and body synchronicity, and getting that in sync. Because although you can be doing a lot of the spiritual work and movement in your life, there's another side to your totality of your being, which is your physical body. And so a lot of us, tend to think that, I'll just kind of pray the bad away. I'll pray the disease away. And it's like, that's not really quite what needs to be done here, because knowledge is power. We need to have knowledge in the spiritual sense, and knowledge about how we need to, function in our lives psychologically. We have to have all that knowledge. We have to also have knowledge of the body. And the body is also a messenger in our lives. And what we're experiencing in the physical levels of our being is a reflection of what's going on in our psyche and the spiritual, psychological sides of ourselves. So I always like to say, to be simplistic, that every physical manifestation of the body is actually an identical representation of what's going on psychologically or spiritually. For example, those who struggle with weight are over-encumbered with weight, which means they're over-encumbered with energetic weight and emotional weight. They carry out too much responsibility, or they don't let go of things in their life. So they're over-encumbered energetically, which manifests into physical weight, being over-encumbered with physical weight. So in order for a lot of our physical ailments to be healed, we must identify the psychological imbalances that creates behavior, which creates the physical ailments. It's very important to understand this. And as much as we can do the psychological processing, we must be in tune with our bodies. We must know the chemical makeup of our bodies. And so a lot of times people are trying to find the right regimens that work for them. They're like, but I'm not eating anything bad. I'm eating healthy foods. And I'm saying, all because something is healthy doesn't mean it's good for you. And so we need to be in tune with our bodies. We need to be stand firm and ground of what we are within our bodies, within our skin, to understand what works for us and what does not work for us. And so I always say we need to identify the body as like chemistry and being an alchemist and understanding what goes together, what does not, and really feeling out the body and ask yourself, does this resonate with me, what I'm putting in my system? So, of course, this will help you gain the knowledge and be in tune with the body as you're working out the psychological issues. So, as much as it's great to be a free-flowing spiritual being, we also have to understand how to be very regimented and find the structure in our lives, right? And kind of find a structure and a regimen with our lives that kind of gives us that power, that gives us that stability. And so, and even within that regimen, we have to understand the very basics of life of saying, if I eat like shit, I'm going to feel like shit, right? It's very simple. And so this is the time for you to identify, okay, well, I've been walking a spiritual path. I've been healing. I've been also identifying the relationships in my life that need to come and go. But what about the food? What about the plate now? Are you identifying the relationship with the food that you have that needs to be altered and amended? And so I'm seeing a lot of people putting Band-Aids on things. I see a lot of people saying, well, I have this ailment. Let me see what the doctor prescribes. What we need to understand is the doctor is there to prescribe. The doctor doesn't know about nutrition. They just know about certain ailments and what to prescribe, and that's what their job is to do. It's our responsibility to understand what we need to do for our bodies. It's our responsibility to understand the type of momentum, the type of regimens that we need to create for ourselves to create a healthier lifestyle for us. Right? And so if we're not doing that, then yeah, we'll go to a doctor. They'll keep prescribing, put medication on top of medication on top of medication. They'll keep prescribing until you have so much side effects, you're in disarray completely. And then that brings on more emotional weight. So the first thing we need to understand is that we are responsible for our well-being. We are not out of control of our physical bodies. We are not out of control when something goes wrong in our bodies. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Let's prescribe that pill. Let's prescribe that medication. Put it in me. So understand there is, for the lazy energy of popping a pill or getting something injected to pacify a regimen that's poor for you, there are side effects, right? There are results. There are consequences for the easy way out, in a sense, right? So either way, you're going to be fighting a very difficult battle, either through that dealing with side effects of medications or just getting yourself in the rhythm of being emotionally intact to focus on your overall well-being and taking that path and journey to healing yourself. And I'm not preaching against medicine. I'm not preaching against Western medicine. I'm preaching against the reliance of such when most of the times it's very unnecessary when people are relying upon these things. So we need to understand what they're there for and what our responsibilities are. Because I see many people are making excuses because they've created health issues, and that's an excuse why they can't move forward or do things in their lives. And so, that should not be an excuse. It should be a wake-up call. Your body ailments should be a wake-up call. One, of the knowledge that you're not having what's going on subconsciously and the emotional deprivations that you're having, or the amounts of responsibilities that you're taking on that's just not your responsibility to take. And so you're over encumbered with emotional weight, which now you're putting on physical weight. You need to resolve both aspects now. And the further the physical manifestation comes into view in your physical life, then you have to start really tackling the physical world with physical actions. Okay? And so another thing within these new age spiritual communities says like, oh, I don't give cancer energy. I don't talk about those things. I don't look at that. Meaning for somehow you have an illness and just by saying because you're not thinking about it, somehow it's going to go away. Some magical, I would say avoidance mode is going to somehow magically go away because you shouldn't focus on it. That's a whole lot of quackery bullshit because you have to focus on it. And I said this last week too, about if we're in a position with this new age mindset that we cannot focus on the problem to, resolve the problem, we'll never get anything fixed. And, and again, if we think of that mindset, I can't focus on the problem because I'll create more of it. Well, then what about scientists and doctors that focus on illnesses to create, cures for such? Do you see them developing cancer because they're focusing on the problem? No. So we need to focus on the problem. We need to address the illness. We need to take care and put nurturing energy into our physical bodies as well as the mental and spiritual bodies as well. They go hand in hand. And if you're having a hard time identifying what is going wrong with you emotionally, your physical body is going to tell you. Okay? I always say a lot of times you have breast cancer. A lot of women develop breast cancer. I say breast cancer is a reflection that you have issues nurturing the self or issues nurturing altogether because the breast is a very nurturing organ. And so when you have this amount of this, I would say, I don't want to call it resistance, but if you have a lot of this, I would say, imbalanced energy cycling in your body, it's going to create unexpected illnesses in your body as well, and behaviors that will attract you to certain foods that are not well for you. Just think about when you're in a comfort food mode, right? When you feel depressed, people tend to gravitate to Ben & Jerry's or comfort food that's really bad for you, right? Because you're in a bad energy, so I just want this bad food that will create bad results, right? So think about if you do that consistently, if you're constant in anxiety mode, you're always reaching for the food that pacifies anxiety, which is equal to anxiety, you're going to create more anxiety in your life and thus an illness too at some point. So it all is connected, the mindset with the behavior, with the physical manifestations of such, right? Pain in the neck. So a lot of people have neck pain. Well, then why are you being a pain in your neck? Why are you allowing other people to be a pain in your neck? Right? So it's very, very in your face. And a lot of people ask me all the time, am I missing any signs when they're sick, depressed, and anxious? I'm like, oh, the signs are all around you, my love. And of course, then I go deep into describing what that really is. But, so a lot of people tend to target, again, knowledge is power. A lot of people tend to target and blame, like, oh, fat's a problem, oh, sugar's a problem, or carbs are the problem. Now, the whole craze of low-carb diets, which I did a ketogenic diet for 7 years, and I learned a lot from that and realized that's not the solution, right? So I tried that fad. And, the knowledge is, the key is, sugar's not bad for you. Carbs aren't bad for you. By the way, carbs, you know what carbs are? Vegetables are carbs. Okay? So let me say, oh, I don't eat carbs. You don't eat vegetables? Huh? Okay, we need protein. Fats aren't bad for you. We need sugars, fats, starches, and carbs in that sense. But it's the quality of the kinds of we need to understand and identify. Fruits have sugar. Do we mean we have to run away from fruit? No. Fruits again have carbs, and even nuts have fats, and animal proteins have fats. Do we run away from that? No, we need them. So understand that if your nutritional regimen is out of balance, so is your emotional intellect is out of balance too. They both align. They're both synchronous. They're both reflections of your core state of being. Okay? So when we understand that and we get first the emotional and spiritual perspective in balance, then we start allowing our bodies to become in balance too. Then we start craving different foods. We start becoming attracted to different foods. So a lot of times you guys are trying to focus on fixing the body first when the mind has to be fixed first in order to get the body in order. And the mindset and the knowledge of such and the reflection of what's going on within to align with that. So again, of course, someone just wrote here, Zen Gen Fitness, all in balance and moderation. It's very true. It's all about balance. And so, if something's out of balance, then you're going to have issue, right? And so if you see someone that's happy all the time too, people think, oh, they have a great life. No, they don't. That person that's happy 24/7 is not in balance. They could be putting things under the rug. We have a variety and a range of emotions that we need to feel. And it's all that's positive and good. Not just being happy all the time. There's a problem there if there's no dynamic of emotions. So we need to understand the balance of everything, the moderation, as Zen Gen Fitness just stated. Yes, we do need that balance. That's how you understand if you're doing things correctly. So it isn't about low carb, high fat, low fat, hope. It's about we need all of that. All that God has given us on this earth is what we need. Okay? Now, once we understand too how the mind and the body are connected and they're both messengers, you wouldn't be asking anybody, am I missing any signs? You wouldn't be saying that. It's all within you. It's how you feel. I know, like I said before, that if I have a headache or a neck pain, I'm thinking too much and I'm allowing people to be a pain in my neck. I'm allowing people to bother me too much. Then all of a sudden my neck starts going out of whack. It starts feeling, ugh. Some of you have shoulder issues. You have shoulder issues. That's representation that you are carrying way too fucking much in your life. Now it's time to be conscious of, oh my gosh, what am I over encumbering myself with? Those who have swallowing issues, you're not using your voice. Many people have issues swallowing food or issues with mucus in the throat. You're not using your food. Using your voice. Sorry, I read a comment. You're not using your voice enough. Right? Those who have anxiety, you have no direction. You're having panic in your life, which means that you're cutting yourself off from your own lifeline, which is spirit. Okay? So many different ailments that we can actually attach to a physical condition. Eye issues. If someone's constantly having eye issues and issues in the eyes, you're not seeing something clearly in your life. See, it's so literal. And I've seen this so many times in my own life, my own, I would say, experiences, as well as experiences with my clients in the many years, that these always end up being true. Skin problems. You're not comfortable in your skin. And a lot of skin problems relate to embarrassment, the fear of being embarrassed. So skin issues will manifest if you're having a complete moment of that and so forth. So these are things you want to pay attention to, right? And so, oh gosh, just the comments in this room, I swear to you, I wouldn't expect anything less from the comments in this room. The comment about swallowing. Yep. Never a dull moment in this live Thursday Night Lives. So when you think about this in context, you understand that it really isn't that you have to focus on just the body or just the spirit or just the mindset. It's about focusing on both and letting them both working in sync and understanding how they both play against each other. Okay, which leads me to my topic, because I'm going to kind of be speedy tonight on this, on the collective read. Let me just see if there's any additional cards on this. But it really is about standing and creating a regimen and being strict in your regimen and what's best for you. Creating a consistency and such. If you're all over the place with your regimen, now's the time to reassess that and get the home and body in order in that sense. You know? So let's see here. Now about, if there's any additional cards, I'm going to get into the topic is spiritual eating meat. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot more comments about that too. Yeah, they're just saying that now's a time of change. Now's the time to do this portion of with the astrology going on right now. Some of you guys fill me in, but it is time to actually connect to the body consciousness. Yeah, this week forward is all about body consciousness and connecting that with physical with your mental awareness as well as your spiritual awareness. Now's the time to get that in sync. So body conscious, you'll start realizing next week or two, actually next couple weeks, you might start realizing a lot of sensitivities with your body that might have been revealing to you sensitivities of self, or drive to want to work out again, or drive to change things, or certain things are just reacting differently than they've done before. So this next couple weeks is really about body consciousness, and understanding what's really going on in the body. So pay attention to this, because it's going to be relating to your emotional purges as well. Okay, Now the topic is eating meat spiritual, right? So we understand you're either meat eating, you're pro eating meat, or there's a lot of people who are against that. They're pro just, vegan. So what I want to do is I want to kind of break down, is it natural? Either way, is it eating meat natural, and is it natural to eat vegetables, and kind of see the lifestyle of both, okay? So eating meat, is it natural? Well, let's kind of pull up a couple Bible verses, right, that talk about eating meat and see what the Western religion, which Christianity is, of course, the major one. So let's see what the text says about that. Genesis 9:3 says, "Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. And as I gave you these green plants, I give you everything." So what does that mean? Does that mean that, everything that moves, because that'd be animals, that'd be fish, that'd be plants, so everything that moves, does that mean people too? I wonder. Let's check out Deuteronomy 14:3-21 through 21. "You shall not eat any abomination. These are the animals you may eat: the ox, the sheep, the goat, the deer, the gazelle, the roebuck, the wild goat, the ibex, the antelope, and the mountain sheep. Every animal that parts the hoof and has the hoof cloven in two and chews the cud among the animals you may eat. Yet of those that chew the curd or have the hoof cloven, you shall not eat these: the camel, the hare, the rock badger, because they chew the cud, do not part the hoof, are unclean for you." So there in that verse, we're kind of given a blueprint of which animals we should eat, we should consume. And this is the biggest Western religion of Christianity that states that we are given a roadmap of what animals we should eat. Last one is Romans 14:1-23. There's many, but these are the ones I picked out that stand out to me the most. "As for the one who is weak in faith, welcome him, but do not quarrel over opinions. One person believes he may eat anything, while the weak person only eats vegetables. Let not the one who eats despise the one who abstains, and let not the one who abstains pass judgment on the one who eats, for God has welcomed him. Who are you to pass judgment on the servant of another?" So here's a scripture that's basically saying that there is those that eat either or, and they are claiming that the weak are the ones that only eat vegetables. Now, I don't like the term weak. I like the term empathetic, right? And in physical reality, there needs to be a little bit less, a balance of the empathy, right? And it takes, a lack of empathy to kill an animal, to eat it. Of course, I couldn't do it myself. I'm glad we have people that can do that for us, but I couldn't do it myself. Too much empathy. I don't kill bugs, right? And so in that sense, in the biblical sense, that's considered weak. And so is it natural? So based on the Western religion, and Christianity is the biggest one, they actually, it's saying that God's saying that they've given us animals and specific animals to eat. Now, the nutritional needs when it comes to eating meat. What does it provide for us? Of course, a great source of iron, vitamin B complex, zinc, amino acids, protein, healthy fats. Those are all things that we need. Right? And as we know, iron is great for growth and development of hormones. Vitamin B12 supports function of nerve cells and needed for the red blood cells formation and a DNA synthesis. So it keeps things together and organized. And the amino acids are key for building and maintaining muscle. Right? We need that for strength. And the healthy fats keep the system lubricated. Right? It keeps things going. It's a lubrication of the body. So these are the things that we need actually. So if something was not intended for us to eat, it would be poisonous. For example, if I just started eating coal right now, there's no benefits to eating coal. right? I'll probably be poisoned by that and chip a couple teeth in the process. So clearly there's identifiers that eating meat seems to be somewhat natural or within the essence of a physical reality. Okay. Now the downsides, to eating meat, of course, is animal cruelty. We have, and that's because of high manufacturing needs that we have to deliver so much meat to so many people that there's animal cruelty that's in the process. And of course, I believe animals should be treated humanely because they're a source of food, and we need to not put so much stress, and we should be respecting life in that sense because life is creating life in this context. So in the sense of, is eating meat natural? Well, let me tell you, so it's written in ancient scriptures and religion that people classify as the main religion in Western society, which is Christianity, one of, I would say, and has a lot of health benefits to it, a lot of nutrients that we do need, actually. And so now, is being a vegan natural? Well, of course. I mean, fruits and vegetables are produced by the earth, so therefore that is intended for us to eat. That's natural. And there's many nutrient benefits for being a vegan, which is great source of vitamin C, right? Potassium, fiber, other great vitamins and nutrients that come from vegetables and fruits as well, and plant-based diets. However, we need to understand the natural consumption of fruits and vegetables. We should not be doing daily juicing all the time because that's a high consumption, and an overindulgence can lead to bloating, right? And intestinal issues. Right, especially the cruciferous vegetables for a lot of people could cause massive digestive issues in the system. And so if you think about even making almond milk, how many almonds does it take to make a glass of almond milk? Would you consume and eat this amount of almonds as it's in a glass? That's overconsumption. So that can cause a lot of issues, especially if you're reliant upon a plant-based food for all these other nutrients that you're deficient on. It's going to cause an overindulgence, cause other problems as well. So and the downside of being a vegan actually is it lacks nutrients. It lacks protein, iron, B12, vitamin D, calcium, and healthy fats. And in order to actually get more of the supplements and nutrients that you need, there needs to be more production now to provide for the deficit of such. So we need to put more supplements in production, right? There's a lot of unhealthy products that are consumed to give those sources of fats and so forth that are not, derived from really great sources in a sense. So there's going to be a deficit with nutrients that being just plant-based is going to create in a sense. And so also with crop production. Right? Let me read this quote right here from the Faculty of the Faculty of Agriculture from University of Zagreb. Crop-only production and exclusively vegan diet may lead to loss of important plant and animal genetic materials, increased pressure on land and water resources, and exacerbate problems with agricultural crop residues. And so there's an issue they're saying to even produce mass amounts of crops, and especially if it's just solely crop based, we're looking at massive issues there. And the PETA also admits that growing fruits and vegetables does require the mass use of pesticides that kill millions of birds and other animals to prevent them from destroying the crops. And harvesting these crops killed field mice and other animals caught in the path of machines. So we're seeing here that even when we have to have a higher demand of crop manufacturing and production, that animals are being killed in the process as well. So imagine we eliminated the raising of animals and animal meats as a source of food that is strictly plant-based. How much more animals are going to die in the process of such because of the sustaining of those crops? So once more, there's going to be a massive issue there. So is being completely vegan natural? Because it deprives you of nutrients and it needs a modern day, I would say, production to sustain it. It doesn't seem very natural to me in that regard if I look at that from that context. Now, of course, we always hear about the morality of veganism versus eating meat, right? But one thing I would say that the eating meat and veganism has in common, right, is the modern day production of such, right? So the downsides of eating meat is killing of animals, morality, right? Killing of animals. The downsides of veganism today is killing of animals, based on what we just went over, right? So the question is, if both situations are killing of animals in the modern day context, right? What is the resolve to that? The result. What is the solution? Well, one, for vegans, you can grow your own food. Grow your own farm, learn how to be sustainable with your own food in that sense. But what are you going to do to pacify the nutrient deficit from your fats and all the other things that meat provides? What are you going to do to sustain the deficit of that? So you got to think about this in modern day society. And the question you want to ask is, are all animals sentient? Did God create animals to protect and to feed the earth in a sense? And because life creates life in this 3D physical world, is that what animals were designed for? Are they a different level of consciousness that did incarnate to provide that source of life for us and the continuation of life and the growth of their soul in a sense until they reach a level of, of consciousness where they don't have to be, used as food in a sense? We have to think of all these things and why the creation of this world exists this way. And another question is, are plants conscious? There's been many studies done that say plants are conscious. They respond to pain in a sense. So they're just as conscious. So we need to identify. So if we're against killing, then if everything's conscious, then we're kind of killing at all times in a sense, right? So the morality argument kind of really it goes either way in a sense, right? And so killing for food to me is just a 3D world structure because animals eat animals in this sense in the animal kingdom. And so, that's there's a food chain that goes on here. And so that's kind of the structure of 3D reality is, for survival, life creates more life. Life gives more life, right? And, of course, we kill insects. People, how many times have you stepped on an insect in your day, accidentally? There's an insect that died. Is that moral? Because there's so many accidental deaths that occur too in this 3D world that we live in, right? And so for me, when I look at eating meat and eating vegetables, they both have massive benefits for the health. So it has nothing to do about morality in this sense. It has more to do about the yin and yang and the different benefits. Because if you just eat meat, you're going to be deprived of all the nutrients and vitamins that fruits and vegetables provide. If you're just eating fruits and vegetables, you're going to be deprived of all the benefits that meat provides. So we're designed to eat both. It brings the balance. And we live in a carnal world. This is part of 3D physical reality. This is the structure of our world. Now, based on that, is it spiritual to eat meat? Yes. Is it spiritual to be a vegan? Yes. Let me explain why. Anything that is designed in this physical world for us to sustain and we thrive on and we consume, we're allowing ourselves to evolve in the physical world. That is a spiritual life, evolution, and we're evolving. Is being a vegan spiritual? Absolutely. Now, here's the thing about the vegan mindset. It's the mindset of the ascended. Because once we evolve from physical reality, we will ascend to a level of dimensionality. We don't have to kill for food any longer. We don't have to kill for food anymore. We can thrive and consume through the ethers and the cosmos as we evolve and ascended out of physical reality, out of 3D reality into a higher dimensionality of reality where we don't have to kill for food any longer. So the vegan mindset is actually ahead of its time of not killing for food. However, I have that mindset. I don't want to live in a reality. I want to evolve to a reality where we don't have to kill for food. We can sustain on the ethers. We can take in breath and that's food. That's enough. That's sustainable for us. But we have to be objective and understand we are in a 3D physical world, and the process of this physical world is that we have to eat life, to give life, and to create more life. So I would say for me, both are spiritual paths. Both are part of the evolutionary curve of our existence and our being. So again, is it bad to eat meat? No. We can do better, yes, but we will when we evolve from physical reality. And that is the goal. The goal is to not have to kill for food. The goal is to sustain off the ethers. That is the goal. But we also have to be in alignment, aware of what's happening in physical reality and what we're designed to do in this physical world and take life and use life the way it's intended for us. As a collective, also, that supports all the other species as well. Okay, so to me, it's all about the spiritual growth and evolution. So I would say, in this case, those who are preaching veganism and trying to get, connect that in this physical world, even though I believe that the mindset is a very ascended mindset. The vegan mindset is a very ascended mindset, and I agree with that mindset, but it doesn't match in this reality. We're not in that other reality any longer. We're in this dense reality. So we need to be focusing on is humane way of eating and sustaining ourselves through healthy foods, through whole foods, right? And treating our animals with care, not stressing out our animals, right? So we can exhibit, and digest more of that stress. And so just like if you go to a restaurant, a lot of people say about the stress of the animal. Well, you go to a restaurant, you don't know the stress of the person cooking your food. They could have a breakup and they're putting that hate in your food. So you should be conscious of that all the time about who's preparing your food, where you're going to eat, is the vibe good for you? And be very intuitive in where you feel like you should be drawn to eat. And when it comes to your food as well. I mean, that's very important. And so you want to align with people who put pride and love and care into their foods too, because that's putting living pride and care into your body as well. So, and And so, unfortunately, it's not natural to pick either one. It's not natural to abandon vegetables and fruits. And it's not natural just to eat meat either. We need both. And the both are part of the spiritual evolution. And we should be adapting the vegan mindset that we don't want to kill for food. That is where we want to be going next. That's where we're evolving into after this physical world. So embrace that mindset. Let the vegan voice be a voice of reason for you and understanding what it's trying to wake you up to. It's trying to wake up your consciousness to understand, one, we should be eating clean. Two, but when we evolve, that's where we want to be headed. Okay? Where we don't have to sustain off of killing our food. Okay? So, and yes, I agree, Kate. We do have teeth to do both. Canines right here. We do have teeth to do both. And some argue that. There's a lot to argue. I'm not trying to really argue really much about, what is design. I'm just trying to bring up some realistic, real-world scenarios that kind of, showcase what is tending to be more of a natural path, more of a natural, I would say rhythm and such. So for me, it's including both. Okay. All right. Anybody, what's going on in this chat here? You guys are all playing around here. Yes, you should do your own cooking. Yep. I do all my own cooking too. And so making sure that, free range is important. Pasteurized eggs is important too, because you want to make sure that they're feeding off natural pastures. So we have to be clear. We have the knowledge in front of us to find what we want that's great for us, to eliminate toxins in pesticides and chemicals and find, more cleaner foods to consume. We can find that. And as I mentioned previously, that, a lot of the vegan foods are very unhealthy and have a lot of chemical and processed foods in them that are really awful for our health. And so we have to understand the nutrients that we need, the minerals that we need, and what provides it. Yes, I mean pasture raised. Yes, thank you for correcting me on this. I'm trying to speed up. I'm thinking pasture raised. Thank you for correcting me on this. Pasture raised, because you want to make sure they're eating very healthy, clean fields. All right, enough of the food talk. Let's get into the questions here. What else is going on in this chat? Yeah, pasture raised meats and chickens too. Exactly, correct. Now, those of you who are vegan who don't want to eat meats, consider, eggs, and consider, at least fish or things that come from animals. If you still have an issue, eating, an animal in that sense, at least provide, try to eat the things that are beneficial that they provide, like eggs and such. You know what I'm saying? Try to at least get yourself open to what the animals do provide in that sense. But I'm not here to preach about that. I'm here to preach objectively, not to be picking a side, because I think both sides have valid points, but I tend to be the one that wants to combine all to make it a bigger picture. All right, so we had a question from someone last week that I missed. This is for Jenny Rastig. Hope I'm saying it right. Like salmon? I don't eat salmon, but if you want salmon, sure. Salmon turkey, no bueno for me. I just not a fan of either one. I like more like halibut and cod, more of like kind of the mild fishes, sea bass. Okay, this is for Jenny Rastig. I co-own a water store and small supplement shop with my husband. What do you see in terms of growth in my store this year? There's a plateau that's happening this year for some reason. I feel like that you can get out of on this. I think that you need to focus on advertising. I feel like advertising seems to be kind of I don't want to say a struggle. I feel like you maybe have to. I feel there's an overconsumption of supplies and less put into the marketing or advertising aspect. So that might be on the side of your husband. I think he's more concerned about getting all these new supplements or products, but I think you have enough to sustain right now and focusing on the advertising and the marketing aspects, they're saying. Otherwise, it's going to plateau. You'll be twiddling your thumbs like, okay, what's going on? It's like, we have all this stuff. It's like, yeah, you got the stuff, but we need to share the stuff. So you have enough things, enough inventory that you want to be focusing on advertising, they're saying. And then that would increase your I would say, clientele or customer base. Instead of it being kind of plateauing this year, it would actually be more of an incline. Because right now it just feels like it's a kind of a plateau. Like you're getting all the semantics and gear, but not so much the actual things that is needed to make it successful. So I know it will. I'm just trying to guide you on making sure you don't plateau this year because of focusing more on the supplements and less on getting it to people in their putting it in their hands and marketing to the communities. I don't know if you have farmers markets around you. They're showing to me you kind of putting yourself in that type of environment of a farmers market, or somehow connecting with other people where that you can leave your business card and so forth. Really kind of networking this way they're saying is needed this year. Okay. So you might just do that. You might even that might even just be a prediction too. But I feel like it's needed. You're not at that stage right now where it needs to be developed. And I think once you do, I think it'd be great success. I think you guys are having a little hard time starting it, but once it goes, you guys are really going to be really great and successful with it. So that's kind of my advice for what you do this year and what to be more focusing on. I feel like your husband is great at connecting with people or meeting people in that sense too. So he's good at maybe getting deals, but he should be better about doing, meeting with other people in that sense. So I feel like he's good at that. Oh, so this is you, Zengen. Is that you? That's so funny. Zengen Fitness. That is, my mom's name is Jen and she has Gen Fitness. And so I thought that was kind of interesting. Zengen Fitness. So yeah, my mother's name is Jen and she's Gen Fitness. So that's funny, but so good. That's what you could keep doing with that, my love. I feel like your husband's really got a charming personality to do that. So I feel like he can really, push it along too. But the problem with your husband, he tends to be so much focused on one aspect and gets stuck on one aspect and will need to move on. So he might be a person that like has too long of conversation and doesn't know how to move on. So make sure he's very, make sure he's able to, move on from a topic of conversation or move on from what he's ever focusing on. Because I feel like when he is focused, he's great, but he might need to not spend so much time in one thing. Okay. And the devil card in reverse is really all about being spiritual about this, actually. And I mean, this is the high priestess means that you must be very intuitive. You're the intuitive side of this business. Your husband is like kind of the brains and personality in a sense. Not to say you don't have a personality, but you're the intuitive push in this. You know how to guide with your intuition. He needs to follow your intuitive lead, and you utilize his personality, his zeal, what he wants to do with it. And the Seven of Pentacles here is all about you guys are in harvesting mode, like planting mode. I would say you're watering the seeds right now, and they're going to sprout up. So if you think about that mindset, you're planting all those seeds. This way, by the time you're done planting all those seeds, some are going to start to sprout, and then you'll have the resources that you need. So, you guys are going to thrive on this. I really feel, you guys have a great duo energy on this. You're very intuitive. You kind of are insightful. He's like, go, get there, and learning about the supplements, learning about the things that he needs, and has a great essence of personality that he can bring to the table is what I feel like. So, yeah, that's good. Okay. Next question is from, where did I leave off? We have Brenda Zweck. Card pull. What do the cards have to say? That's what I have to say. The cards kind of lead me where to speak, but it's me, what I gotta say. Yeah, that's interesting, the name. I almost thought that was my mom in the chat with a new YouTube channel, because she was on my dad's for a while. I'm like, did my mom create a new YouTube channel? Zengen Fitness? I was going to tell my mom, hey, that's a great name. And then, oh, it's not. That's funny. Clever name. That's because she's intuitive. Thank you. I mean, finally, because sometimes I'm horrible at the name thing. Right, Mom? Don't you think that's a great name, right? Zengen Fitness. Okay. Okay. Wow. You gotta, the card's just saying that you need to make a decision, and it feels like there's either a family issue or issue with people around you, so either family or friends, that there seems to be a lot of conflict around family or friends relationships, and I feel like you're kind of getting in the middle of something, so you have to pick a side in a sense, and so I think that, picking a side could be the fact that you're picking your own side. I just like you're in the midst of, conflict when it comes to people that you love. So whether it's friends or relationships, or even could be even work relationships, you feel like you're the center and around this kind of chaos and conflict that you're going to have to pick a side in a sense. And again, picking a side could be like, I'm being diplomatic, so I'm not dealing with this. And at least picking a side means you could remove yourself from the situation. So they're saying now it's time to really get yourself into that modality because, and if it's not now, then you'll be put in this position where you'll have to pick a side, and this would be very important. It feels current to me in a degree. It feels like you're trying to pacify more than one person at a time. And that could be a problem as all my cards just fall out of the deck as I say this. I love the High Priestess comes out on that too. Yeah, you're not being intuitive enough. You're letting people drain you. So yeah, you're definitely letting people drain you. That's very much an emphasis here that you have to stop letting yourself do this and stop getting in the middle of this or stop being in the middle, allowing people to put you in the middle of these circumstances. And this is kind of like an emphasis of using your own voice in a sense. So this could be very specific or just general that you do this frequently in your life, that you need to understand this and stop becoming in the middle of all the chaos, that remove yourself from it or pick a side, whatever the case is with that. Okay. Because it just feels heavy and it feels like a lot of unresolved energy that it's not even your shit. And, you're kind of in the middle of someone else's shit. It feels like, and it could just be that you do that with family for some reason that you shouldn't at this point, that you need to grow and move on from that. Okay, I'm going to pull a follow-up card just to see. Yeah, it's finding your zen. You got to find your zen away from all that shit, right? Because, with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse and the Hierophant in reverse, it's all about, like, getting out of the routine and the structure of shit. And older ways of thinking, and find your center, find your new path, find your own voice. That's what they're definitely saying here. And to get rid of that, escape that heaviness, that cloud. Again, Two of Pentacles, same thing with picking a choice, and find the balance. Good. But remember that mindset, my love. Like, stay out of that mindset. And that's probably why I pulled more cards, because this is kind of the result, right? If you even look at the picture on that, if you don't know what the Four of Cups means, right? Look at the picture of that, right? She's finding her zen, and she's finding what's important to her. This is you right now, right? So we want to confirm that to you. And this is also stop being loyal to a fault. Just stop being loyal to a fault. Stop, because someone has a title in your life that you have to, like, accept that abuse. No. Okay. Nina has a message for me. Un momento. Okay, she sent the wrong option. Okay. Is she going to fix the option? I'll get to that. Oh, okay. Yes. Live readings, everybody. See up here, live readings. So if you don't want to be live, then you could definitely do... book a personal session with me. ScottCruzPM.com. Let's plug that in. Okay? If you want a personal session, don't want it live, ScottCruzPM.com. It's all for you. And I keep the discrepancy too on that too. So, but I won't be able to get to refunding that money until after the session, or after the live, because I have to deal with all this. So you'll see it probably when I get to it, right? Because right now I have others. So be patient on that. Chelsea Manica, do you see me passing my USC exam now? Have you had a phone call fixed up to this? Not in the stars. I know. Said I asked about it here. 2, I had to run into Trent the last few days. What are his thoughts about me in this moment? Okay. First of all, you did, Chelsea. I feel a better energy about passing. I'm like, I feel like you're going to pass. I feel like a passing grade. But it feels like a C. Okay? I want you to get an A. All right, so right now I feel like, yes, it's like, I feel like right now the prediction's like you'll probably pass with a C. And so, but I want you to go further than that, because you could be at a C, then do something, then you could potentially lose that. But yeah, but yes, I definitely see a C energy, so it feels good. I feel like there's been more studying going on. I see you've been taking notes, so maybe you've been writing it down. So yes, but I want you to go further than that. I want you to be more prominent in what you're doing, and I want you to want more than a C. I don't want you just to pass. I want you to be in it. I want you to be good at this. That's what I want you to be on that. Don't be satisfied with a fucking C, okay? So yeah, I like that there. So that's good. Now 2 is, I had to run with Trent in this last few days. What are his thoughts about me in this moment? Well, I feel I feel he had a sexual pull, but I also feel like he's pulling back. This is what I think Trent does, right? He holds it back a little bit, kind of feeling it out, right? So what's going to happen is, so I feel like there was a sexual spark in his mind, and now he's going to let that build up, right? So he'll hold back on this, then he'll build up, and he'll think about it and build up until something happens, right? So I feel like there was a little sexual plug. There was a little bit of, Now he's thinking about it, right? Well, should I reach out to her? Should we do something? Should we hang out? So I feel like now he's considering maybe hanging out sometime. But again, you can't hold your breath with this guy because he takes forever. And so, but that's where he's at right now with that, and kind of considering, maybe we should hang out again. That's where he's at with it. But you know how he is with things. Like, he'll consider things and like drag it out for a little bit. So I think both these questions are kind of a step up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, got into a fight. Sexual, yeah, that creates a lot of sexual energy. Okay, so I think he's thinking about things. I think he might be wondering, like, let that build up. So that could be the buildup of energy too, right? So a lot of times when people get into a fight, then the fight's over with, that creates sexual charge and sexual energy. And that's what I feel created with him. And I was like, should we hang out again? So that's what I feel. So I'm not surprised it was a fight energy, because I felt a buildup in that sense, right? So yeah, I mean, it's a fight, but I feel like with him too, it's just kind of like he enjoys the conflict. He enjoys, like, if there's no energy, then fighting is a better energy than no energy. Like, I feel like that's how he thinks, so that's a buildup to me, a buildup of energy, which now it's a sexual charge now for him, So because now there's you being pulling away. If you pull away, then it's like, oh, well, what if I don't see her again? Oh, she's strong now, right? So yeah. But again, I'm not saying it's good behavior. I'm not saying it's something to chase after. I'm just saying that's where he's at, and he likes to drag shit out. Okay, Beth LeSueur. The woman who stares me down, glares even, laughs out loud when I walk by, goes out of her way to do this even though I've been avoiding her for months. You see her moving, relocating, going away, or stopping. It reminds me of the emotional abuse I suffered growing up. Well, here's the thing, too, and this is a great... this is something I think is great for everyone to hear. There are many people from afar that are going to, bring out and triggers our unresolved, right? Because at the end of the day, Beth, this woman doesn't have any value in your life. If she wants to stare you down and laugh, well, good for her, right? What is that doing for you? What does that do? So it's triggering your past. You can actually recreate a narrative in your mind saying, well, what relevance does she have in my life? And why does anyone have control over how I feel? So she's not moving anytime soon. I don't sense a relocating of energy. She's not going to go away, but your reaction to it can make it go away. Meaning that just like not giving any validity to it, not giving any weight to it will allow it to go away, because you'll realize it's not working anymore. You could just smile back and go, hi, and go on, right? You can really play with this differently. This is not a psychic question. This is a psychological question. And so I definitely think you need to take your power back. I think you definitely need to look at the situation and say, who is she? Why does this unknown woman have any bearing over my life? Because she wants to smile and taunt me? Whatever. Hi back. So to me, the device that you need is understanding how to handle it. And that you don't want to be carrying this energy from your past on any longer. You don't want to be carrying that burden any longer. You have control now to change that. You have the power now to change that. So I definitely want you to readdress this. So, her leaving or moving is not going to resolve your problem. It'll pacify, and then somebody else will come in and give you the same energy. So stand up to that. My way of standing up to that is just kind of waving back. Hi, what's your problem? Hey, So that's what I do. But no, I don't see her moving anytime soon. But I see that you'll have to kind of address how you respond to it. Okay? And guys, I'm going to be shutting down readings in like 2 minutes, so get them in if you want, but I'm going to be shutting them down, and I won't be taking any more, okay? So if you want to get your readings in, get them in now, otherwise they'll be closed down in about 5 minutes, I think, looking at the time. Okay, Jordan Higgins card pull for Cascading Catalyst. Okay, perfect. Need some water. My body needs some agua. Okay. Cascading Catalyst. Okay. I think Spirit's being lied to me today. I've been feeling like head heaviness today too. Yeah, you're certainly right. Get them while they're hot. Hot. All right, shuffling for Cascade. Yeah, think about this, guys. When people trigger you, ask yourself, they have power over you. You know, when someone like pisses you off, triggers you, and like even me, like I'm out and about, I get, you know, easily agitated about people like not being considerate and conscious. And I'm like, but now they're having power over me. That energy is having more power over my well-being because I'm annoyed over that, right? The Aquarius that I am. So, you know, we have to understand, like these people, you give them power over you when you have such a reaction to these things, and you just want to take a step back and say, why is that relevant for me? And most importantly, why does it matter? But a lot of times we have to understand too, yes, we have things in life that are just going to irritate us, you know, but we have to, the mastery comes in how we maneuver around it. There's good, if someone keeps pounding on your, like this, right, that's going to annoy you. Well, you just stop pounding me, but you can maybe maneuver, say, hey, pound my back. That feels better, you know? There's ways you can maneuver around things so it's not an irritation to you or not a problem to you or a threat to you. We have that power to maneuver and not just give them the power and say, you're annoying me, you know, and letting us get out of our mode of alignment and balance. But sometimes it requires your power to say stop as well, you know? So, I'm still shuffling for Cascade. There's a relationship that's slowing you down. What's happening in this chat? You guys are so like in your own world. With this weird stuff. But Cascade, or Cascading Catalyst. There's a relationship around you that's slowing you down. It's pulling you down. They're saying it needs to go. And I think it's getting in the way of your own personal growth. So this is more generally speaking in a sense, but this person feels like they're a big influence in your life, and it might feel like it's something you need, but it's something that you don't need. Like it's the opposite. It's actually slowing you down. The energy is being pulled away from you, you know. And so they're saying that this person, if you're questioning whether or not there's insincerity, or if you're questioning whether or not this person needs to go, or you're feeling like it's too intoxicating in a good way, but it doesn't feel like it has a balance, and they're saying there needs to be that type of awareness that it might be out of balance for you. And they're not necessarily saying that you have to sever anything with this, but identifying that imbalance in this dynamic. Because it feels like, you know, like if I get a high on this, but it becomes, if you look at it like from a different perspective, you might look at it and say that it really is all about them, and that all this excitement and focus really is all about them. And I really haven't been getting the things I've been getting. It's been like getting in the way of me getting the things I want to get done in my life. But it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means like it's time to outgrow that, or it's time to change that now. And it's funny, you got the Four of Cups too, like the other one about finding your center. You know? Yeah, I mean, it's going to be confusing, my love. It's going to be confusing, right? Because if you're focusing on them and you're not pulling for yourself, it's going to be confusing. And so confusing is not clarity. So the confusion is the message for you that says like, well, this is out of balance here. And we're trying to tell you it's really all about them, that you're losing the center of you in this process, in this dynamic, right? In this relationship. So once you understand and you're losing yourself in it, you can see that objectively, you will realize it's addicting in a sense, or it's intense in that sense, but it really is more centered on them. You know? So I think that's the issue here. And so you can find the balance and find a way to evolve and find a way to maneuver forward with yourself too. And, you know, maybe not completely, you know, sabotaging this dynamic, because I don't feel like it's malicious. It just feels like it's out of balance. And I just said it was addicting, and I just pulled the devil cards. It's a very addicting energy. So you want to be careful of that. Making sure you're maintaining your center, like we said before, and then proceed from there. You know, because that might be able to put it in balance too. You know, so it doesn't seem like something you need to cut out, but it seems like something you need to reassess in that sense. Okay? If that makes any sense to you. But but this person loves the attention. You know what I mean? So they love the attention. And you're very bright with your energy with them too, and you match each other in that sense. That's why it's confusing, right? So in those moments, you match each other's energy, and so it's intense in that moment. But you know, is the energy matching the same way when it comes to you? Do you know what I'm saying? That's what you need to identify. And it might be a little bit of a struggle for them to like be now focused on you with that intensity and build that. It might be a little, little bit of a slow, chug with them. But that's what you need to be. You need to have that confirmed for you. Okay. So hopefully that advice helps in that sense. But you got this. Okay, Mrs. Sydney Aaron. Sydney Aaron. And sometimes it's not even the specific cards that come out. It's sometimes just the way the cards come out. Because it was like random stuff. It was like a partnership card, and it was like all this other stuff in reverse position, like in disarray. And so I'm like, it's just there's one person card, and then so as of course being a psychic, I just read deeper into the situation because the cards direct me where to look, and then I use my psychic awareness to go deeper, because of what the cards inspired me to read. So. Oh my God, Erica, I have been hearing this word nuance every freaking... Ask Eric, right? I told Eric. I said, all I've been hearing is the word nuance. Oh, Scott, you're so nuanced. Every podcast, nuance this, nuance that. Freaking another interview, guy who used nuance every other topic of conversation, every other sentence he's using the word nuance. I'm like, God, why does he keep using the word nuance? We get it. And now you're saying nuance. This word has been around me. This word nuance has been around me this whole week, like crazily. That's all I keep hearing around me. And I don't even use the word nuance. I say dynamic, like lots of different dynamics, different shades. It is now trendy. Maybe that's why, People just say it just to fucking say it, Now I won't say it because I'm an Aquarius. I'm like, yeah, everybody wants to say it. I'm not saying it. Watch, I'll change my title to Nuance Readings by Scott Cruz. Nuance Readings by Scott Cruz. You want a nuance reading? Nuance coaching. Nuance mediumship. Finesse. I don't hear finesse much. I use finesse a lot. And Michelle, you making fun of me because I always use finesse. I'm like, you'll have better finesse. I use finesse all the time. I love that word. I don't hear many people using that. Oh wow, I love this. This they want to say this, Sydney, right? They want to say that you have to remind yourself that the breaking off of an old relationship is the reason why you're ascending. We're gonna be kind of like, let's be like energetic, deep for a moment in that sense. It's not deep, but that is through, and I'll just show you here. This is you powerless, surrendering your power, and this is the Lovers in reverse, which means that it's a closing, ending of a relationship or a bad relationship. And on the other side of that is the World card and the Star card, which means, of course, the World card in this sense is like you're expanding, your energy is expanding. The Star card is all about you. And so I think that you have been in a position now of like reflecting on that past relationship and really kind of severing that, even though you've been over it, but more so severing the dishonesties, severing the inconsistencies, severing the fact that, again, that you were deprived, and severing even the anger of it. So whatever the ending is, right? The ending of that situation is actually working in your favor. So relationship or not relationship. So it's not, something has been not your ex. Well, what's the relationship? Or something has ended. Okay, something's ended. So whatever the case, we'll keep it. So don't tell me. But whatever that closure is, right? So the Lover's card could also be a relationship. It also could be a circumstance too, that you're close to that you didn't have your power in. But they're just definitely showing the dichotomy here. That this is actually allowing you to expand more and to be more the center of focus. Okay? And so that's the point they want to say for you, and that this is a reflection of expansion. But they are saying to me too, Sydney, that it is also that X relationship too. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's that relationship is kind of being, the anger is being severed. You know what I'm saying? Not that you want it back or you're not over it. It's just you're letting go of the resentment of, like I said, the dishonesty of that too. I feel that as well. You push hard and you think pushing hard away from something is resolved when it's not. So you could push hard but still be pissed off. Like, I don't want that motherfucker. No, that's good. But you still have that angst. Instead of saying, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm good. It is what it is. Like, you're not having that approach. You're just like, yeah, but there's still that. But I think you're letting go of that too with that. Part of the process, right? So purging it. So I think that's great. So they want to confirm to you that, yes, it's liberating. This is your time to shine. It's all about you. The focus is on you. And the world card is really expanding your energy outwardly. To the world in that sense, so people can actually, connect with you, so people can actually really, find you and see you. So, I mean, the world card is also in that sense of expanding your energy to the world, so you're actually really kind of connecting with people you never connected with before, and circumstances you haven't connected with before, so they just want to say it's a good moment for you of that splitting in that sense, that dichotomy. So you kind of been doing what I've been talking about the past few weeks, the past few weeks about, that splitting, right? The shadow self. And so whether it's a condition, circumstance, whatever it is, that's a reflection of the shadow self. You know what I mean, Sydney? So I think you probably have felt that splitting of self, you know what I mean? And this is like a newer version. So yeah, I like that. Yeah, you buy Chick-fil-A now. Unless I would say no if you don't like their politics. Right, so they're not fond of gay people, so I'd probably be like, I probably wouldn't necessarily go support them. That's my thing, but I'm not one about political. If someone's like conservative, or Republican, or liberal, or I don't care. Like if they get good service, good product, and that's great. But unless I know they discriminate, I'm like, yeah, I probably won't support that energy. So, but I would say no to Chick-fil-A because it's not good food. It's not quality chicken. You're getting probably, really bad quality chicken. So, Oh, rhyme with bow chicka wow wow, buy Chick-fil-A. Oh, I see now. Buy Chick-fil-A now, bow chicka wow. You should totally make a song out of that. Or maybe I should. I'm a musician here. All right, this is a random card pull for Sophia Rodriguez. Let's close these down here. Well, I want to keep my comments up. I just want to get rid of that there because I'm done. Just soaked in pickle juice. What? Oh, okay, yeah. And guys, it's okay. Like once in a blue moon, like to eat healthy. It's okay to like divulge from eating healthy and just trying something. It's okay. We're here to. Our bodies can tolerate that. Sometimes, I like to say I'll have like a cheat meal and I'll know I'm shocking the body, so it has to work. It wakes up and it works harder, and I go back to healthy eating just to keep the body in check. So it's okay once in a blue moon to eat something like that. We're not here. Restrictive diets don't work. They're bad for mentality. Okay, this is for Sophia. Yeah, I'm feeling an ending of a relationship here. There's an ending of a relationship. I'm trying to gauge if it's romantic or friendship, and I can't figure it out right now because I don't have you in front of me, so it's like a distance, so I'm not getting that clear. But I can't figure out. But I just feel like it's an ending of a relationship, but I feel like this relationship has caused a lot of anxiety. And it feels very controlling, this relationship. It could be passive aggressive. This for Sophia Rodriguez again. So I don't know if it's romantic or friendship or even family. And you'll know who this person is. And it does feel like a male energy or a forceful energy, right? But there's a circumstance like this relationship it needs to come to an end, or it's coming to an end because it's too controlling. It's been causing too much anxiety. You know, it's kept you trapped in that field. So either you need to bring it to a close or it's coming to a close. And, you know, especially with the Fool card in the reverse, it's like you're not moving on. It's kind of what I was saying with the other read. Kind of very similar. That, you know, except this relationship is more controlling. This relationship is, and the other relationship was not with the other reader. But this yours feels controlling, it's binding, anxiety. And it's time to like get out of that and realize that that's what this relationship is providing for you. Again, I don't know if it's romantic or friendship. It's hard for me to gauge on this, you know, the type of relationship it is, unless it's a relationship that's in the gray area, unless in that case. But I feel like it's coming to a close or will come to a close. And it has to, because the amount of anxiety and amount of how controlling and manipulative it is in that sense. Yeah, it's just, yeah. But it's good that it's going. So they're saying it will reveal itself to you. So if you kind of been in a haze with it, it's going to reveal itself to you, where it makes it obvious. Because I just heard him say that it will be revealed. So, and I'm just guessing. I'm hearing that because you might be either unconscious to this or not completely aware of this, and it will be revealed to you. All right. Yeah, see, you've been another card of just carrying too much, and just carrying too much of that heaviness, and find the balance right between the masculine energy. So, yeah, that makes sense if it's a boss. That makes more sense to me because of the Emperor card that was here. That makes more sense. Because this is very like a dictator energy, so that can make sense. By the way, this is Scott, not Chris. I'm Scott. God. So yeah, Scott, not Chris. But yeah, so this is definitely indicating so this could be a boss energy. That's probably why it feels like close. So the relationship feels close. So that's probably why I can't place it, because I wasn't looking at a boss energy. So that would make sense. A boss controlling. And this is a lot of anxiety, feeling trapped, feeling, and the death card came out about the ending of that relationship or that dynamic for me. And again, you've been carrying too much burden or carrying too much of energy there. You need to find balance. And it's with that masculine energy, that tough, that strong energy. So it could be the boss energy for sure. That makes sense when you say that. I'm like, yes, it's that. Okay. So, again, whether, again, if you're not thinking about leaving that or breaking that ties, then something will be revealed where you do. Because I feel a closing of this. Okay. I know, Chris Cruz, huh? You must be watching too much LOL. I have a lot of Chris's around me too. Christopher Witecki, Chris Reck, I have friends that are Chris's around me. It's like so many Chris's around me. So yeah, my love. So I see you maneuvering from that circumstance. Okay. It's funny because the relationship feels so heavy to me. And it seems too heavy even for a boss relationship. It's odd. That what I'm getting from that energy, which is why I was confused on this. So, but I feel like that chapter is coming to a close soon. So you may find another job or another opportunity, or it will push you into another one. Because I feel like that's a close. Or he gets fired. I don't know. But I wasn't really sensing that, but I just feel a divergence from that. Card pull for Jennifer Heaton. You missed the topic, Amanda. Good to see you. You're fine. It's funny because you're fine, Sophie. Don't worry about that. But leading out loud, the show is like Christopher kept calling Chris Scott, and then he slipped and called me Chris. And I actually people always mistakenly call me Chris in my life. So I don't know why I have Chris energy around me, but it's more funny that you'd have. Yeah. Hey, you're just being more nuanced in your names and what you're calling me. That's fine. I have I'm very nuanced in my titles and names, so don't worry about that. Okay. All right, cool. I'm sure it was next week because I know that the week is full up already and booked up already. So I appreciate your patience on that, Kate. I look forward to talking with you. And again, the one-on-one sessions are way better because I can get more personal, more in depth. These are quick reads, quick, simple reads. So we'll have fun, Kate. Look forward to talking with you. So it's awesome. All right, and then this is the card pull for Jennifer Heaton. Okay. All right. Well, interesting. Two parts to this, real quick. I love how nuanced my comment section is. So many nuanced comments and very much nuanced people, right? Okay. So one thing they're saying, Jennifer, is to slow down a little bit. Okay. Slow down. You're not having patience right now in what's going on. They're saying you got to focus on your physical desires right now. So whether it be sexual relationship or sexual relationship needs to increase or there needs more sexual activity, more of that human desire you need to be focusing on right now. They're saying you're going too quickly, that you might want to slow down a little bit and start looking at the things that you need that might feel carnal to you or might not feel so important to you, but they're important to you. But those physical desires you need to start kind of embracing right now. And so I do feel like that will increase too with a specific relationship, a sexual type of relationship or sexual relationship that does increase in that sense. This is time for you to embrace that. This is kind of your summer of love. Is more about your sexual desires, your physical desires in that sense, and your intimacy. So they're saying this is going to be a focus for you, or at least a charge for you this summer. So if you resist it, you're going to feel like a charge and a frustration if you don't embrace it. So they want you to slow on down, focus on that side of yourself, and this will be a great summer for you to find more of that freeing expression in that sense. Okay? So embrace it. Otherwise, you'll feel like torn and, frustrated this summer. Okay. So even though it's kind of like a prediction or advice, it's also prediction too, because I feel like that's also going to happen this year as well. Okay, okay, that's Sophia, right? Okay, go. So we'll just do refund the. Okay, gotcha. I think you canceled that, right, Sophia? I'm just seeing your thing now. I'm not, because it's not showing. It's in mine. Did you cancel that, Sophia? I think you canceled it. Just want to make sure. Just put that in there. Jennifer Heaton. Did you hear that, Jennifer Heaton? Were you there? Because I just did your card pull. For Jennifer Hammond now. She says, I have an idea to request an early layoff and severance from my job so I can focus on my business. Is that a good idea, and will I be successful in getting a severance? Let me see if that's predictable, Mrs. Jennifer Hammond. We went from Jennifer Heath to Jennifer Hammond. Let's see. Let's see if that's in the stars. Sometimes it's in the stars of a severance, but sometimes not. I love to finesse so many nuances, you got to finesse all those different nuances. It's 50-50 to me. I don't know. I guess my mindset is oh, you did, Sophie. Okay, because I'll make sure, because it wasn't showing my balance. So if you cancel it, fantastic. And I'll keep an eye on that to make sure it stays that way on your end. Okay. Yeah, let me know. Message me. Yeah, because right now it shows it's there, but it has a clock by it, Sophie, and so I don't know, and it's not added to the balance of mine. So we'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, and if it does, of course, I'll send it right back as quickly as possible for sure. No problem with that. And just keep me posted either way. But I'm so diligent about this stuff. I always can keep my eye on it, anyways. Yeah, I'm pulling the cards in this. Jennifer Hammond. I 50-50 on the severance for me. I feel like you'll have support though. So something may occur that's out of the wheelhouse of what you're thinking that pushes you forward in a sense, right? And I don't think this year is a good time to do that. January, February next year, or December, December, January, February is a good time for this. I would kind of wait a little bit. I don't feel like the timing is right for that right now, but December, January, February, around that time would be a better time to do this. And so I feel like something will push you forward to do that and to focus on your business. Whether it's the severance or not, it might be something unexpected that does it. Okay, so I think you doing that is what you should be doing, but the way you think about doing it may not be rendering that way, and that'll get you out of isolation, a sense of focus more on your business. So I feel like if you're going to do so, December, January, February is a good time to do that. Okay, whether it's a severance in that sense may or may not be the way, might be another way, but I think that if you do it around that time, you'll understand why there's something else pushing you forward to help you with that. Okay. Okay, but you're supposed to do that. I would say you're supposed to get out and jump out and do your business and separate from that. It's more to me the timing more than anything. Okay, Kate, how are you? Go girl, Kate. Let's pull for Kate, card pull, and then actually we have a live reading now after. So let me just do this first. Copy link, copied. Kathleen. You booked. Do you want a live reading because you put the questions in there? So Kathleen Prentice, Crazy for Coconuts. Do you want a video reading because you paid $40 for a video reading, or because you put the questions there? I guess I want to understand what you want first. I'm going to put. I'm going to comment on that and give you the link if you're wanting to, and if not, it's the questions. I can do the questions here. So let's see. Your husband's saying, late husband's saying something about the keys or something. I don't know. He's jangling keys in front of me. Okay, back to Kate. So Kathleen, figure that out. If you're going to do a live reading, I sent you a link to do that to call in. If you want me to answer just the questions, then let me know, and I'll refund you like the $10 that you overpaid. So it's up to you. Aqua's in the house, right? There's a lot of Aquas in the room too, actually. My sister's an Aqua. Eric's an Aqua. I'm an Aqua. Erica Emity's an Aqua. Yeah, and if you want just the questions, that's fine. I'll give you $10 and that you overpaid. Oh, you know, something told me, or is it in my mind, it's a tip, but I don't want to think that. But I felt you were going to say that, but I didn't want to assume that. That's tacky, but thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Kate. I think you tipped me because there's a mediumship question in there, so I love you for that. You're sweet. I know you felt that. Who knows? I'd be getting tipped. Just kidding. Crazy for Coconuts. Wow, another relationship. Ooh. There's a relationship that's gonna go good for you, Kate. Yeah, so if there's a relationship that you've been wanting to move forward, it's going to. These cards are kind of crazy. I like these cards. So Two of Cups, all about partnership. I'm just going to show you this. Partnership seems like a really good, partnership in that sense, and connectivity. And Knight of Swords is someone who's really strong, strong-willed in a sense, right? And so then the Six of Wands is pushing you forward, right? And so it's pushing you forward. And the High Priestess card is obviously you have psychic abilities, and so that's great. But they're saying like this is a relationship that actually will be unexpected in a sense. It might push you forward. You might find some success in this. Now, the type of success, of course, is different, whether it's marriage or not. You might find success that, hey, it was a fun relationship, or hey, it was great intimacy, or what the case is, or it was a good partnership. It feels to be like more of a spiritual bond in this sense. So something unexpected can come from this relationship, or if it's not the one you're thinking about, another one's coming. But it feels rather now. So it's like it's saying like a relationship taking off, a relationship going into a direction that's really fun, that's really quick in a sense too. But with the High Priestess card kind of grounding the read, it's saying like it is a spiritual connection, and that you should be feeling this. There was nothing reversed in this position at all with that, so that's great. So enjoy this. Again, now the type of success, some people think success, we're married. It's like, it could be a successful friendship that's taking off, like, wow, or a successful, casual relationship or an actual relationship in a sense. Or a stalled relationship in this sense, because these are general reads. It could be a stalled relationship that's actually picking up its pace. Maybe there's a relationship that was stalling. And you're like, you know what? It's picking up its pace. Wow, I'm happy about this. So either way, there's movement in relationships in that sense. The Two of Cups is always partnerships. In that sense. So it's usually a dating situation, romantic situation in that sense. So I'm just going to pull some oracles too. Yeah, I mean, it's saying growth, right? That's showing relationships are growing in your life, right? And, you have your boundaries set, so that's a good thing I think they're saying to you as well. And you're finding that peace and fruition. Like, these are all just falling out in a sense, right? So I think the fruition part is like relationships coming in and coming into the light, into the limelight for you, and things going well, and you being pushed forward now in relationships. So it's all positive in that sense, and these connections feel spiritually grounded, or at least they feel intuitively connected in that sense. You know what I mean? So, what'd you say here? Let me see. I just made a couple friends last weekend, so this is great. So that's a good symbol for you, because I also think that means that you're also going to find your love environment charging up too because of this. So it's a really good reflection of where you're going right now in your momentum. So it's great. Okay, awesome. Last but not least is my crazy for coconuts. What is the next best step forward with my Dharma? Also, I'm feeling Andy, my D7 is trying to connect. Okay, we'll get to that. With your Dharma? Let me see. How are you putting this? Where are you on this? I'm thinking about this for a moment because I never had it posed in that way. I heard evolution of grief. And they're saying something about like a unique identifier. So I'm trying to interpret what I heard on this, right? No, I know soul's purpose. I just usually people say soul purpose or karma. So the Dharma was like kind of, I never heard it posed in that way before. I understand what you mean, but it was the first time. But that's what I'm saying before. Like they're saying, you've processed grief, like I said before, and unique identifier. So I think they're saying that through grief in your life that you experience from your previous incarnation of loss, right? And also taking. You've taken from in your previous lifetime, and so you experienced some grief and loss in this lifetime of being taken from, that you've now been uniquely able to identify who you are and where you've come from when it comes to previous incarnations. So in a sense of, yes, you have turned that wheel in a sense, and you're into a newer paradigm where you're going in a direction of finding that unique identifier within of what your voice really is, your true perspective on the soul is. So yeah, you've been doing great with that in that sense. Yes, your deceased husband is like jingling keys in my ears. So I don't know if there's like, if you're getting new keys to something, or he's playing with your keys. There's some significance why he's dangling keys in my ears. So yes, and I think he is trying to contact you. He's kind of showing me like fucking with the lights a little bit too, and flickering the lights, and he's kind of bringing me to your bedroom as well too, of like where he connects with you the most. I'm not trying to sound cliche or I'm usually very playful, but I'm kind of being serious this way. He comes to you at nighttime. He's saying that recently you thought you saw a reflection of him or something of this nature. So, like, was that him? Like, you've been seeing this lately? That's because he's connecting with your energy. He likes to play around with you. He's being very playful with you. He said something about missing socks and laughing about this. So I don't know if recently you've been like pulling your hair out looking for these like missing socks. Like he moves your socks around. And there's some sort of joke surrounding your socks for some reason. I don't know why. And so, yes, he's doing weird things. He's showing me, and I think it's very present, very present with you. Hold on a second. Are you still smelling something? He's showing like you're sniffing something still. I don't know what you're sniffing. I don't know if it's something of his, or you're holding. He's just showing like this sniffing thing. So I don't know if you're smelling him, or you have a scent of him still, or or you're smelling a scent. He's showing that he's trying to connect with you on the scent aspect of things, and that you're smelling a scent. And also maybe something before your bed that you clutch, or you do some sort of ritual to connect with him before bed. I don't know if that's literal in that sense. But there's a lot that you're doing to connect with him before you go to sleep, or at nighttime too. He's kind of connecting with as well. This is odd to me. He says, say hi to Davy and Johnny. I don't know who these two names are, Davy and Johnny. I don't know where they're coming from. Maybe like look that up. He says, say hi to Davy and Johnny for me. So I don't know if they're two friends of his or someone he connects with in a sense. So maybe just make a note of that. I don't know if you're going to make the piece that together now, but he's saying, say hi to Davy and Johnny. Might be two close friends of his, or some people that he knows that would make sense. Maybe you bump into them at some point, and then you say, oh, that's really strange because some meeting told me your name's Davy and Johnny, and he's saying hi. So something that will come about. So make a note of that, Davy and Johnny, for some reason. Those two names, he says, say hi to them. But he is. I think you'll start feeling more of his connection with you too. Do you have like a purple stone or something of that nature too? And he's saying you still either have the ring, or you're still flickering the ring, or you play with the ring and something with a purple stone. I don't know. Or were you thinking about resetting the stone? I'm not sure. He's like kind of connecting with the issue. There's something with the wedding ring of turning it or flipping it or something of that nature. I don't know. Of course, he's supporting that, but he's kind of like saying that you might have to change a stone, or maybe you should change a stone. I don't know what he's saying about this, and he keeps showing you playing with the ring and flipping it in a sense. And so something about like changing it out or something like that, or putting put a purple stone. I don't know what he's saying with this, and so. He's saying that like you the way you flicker this ring, it's like you think about him while you're doing this. So it's not just I have this ring, like you turn it on your finger and you're thinking about him in that sense. You know what I mean? So he's seeing you do this, and he's connecting with you while you're doing this, this behavior, and he's connecting with a cat, like a white cat or something. And so I don't know if it's in spirit, or if you have a cat, or there was a cat in the spirit. There's also a white cat in spirit he's showing to me. So I can't identify if it's spirit or actually in the physical, how he's connecting with the cat energy. So it might have been a deceased cat that he's mentioning, or he's connecting with the cat. I don't know. That's something I can't really sense. I'm alone here. I don't have you in front of me. But that's another kind of connection he's making. So if you don't have a cat, there's a cat in spirit that he's connecting with, that someone lost their cat. Or he's connecting with your cat. I can't decipher which one it is, to be honest with you. So take that and maybe try to marinate on that too. But yes, he's around. He's very chatty Cathy with me. So I feel like he's very, forward. And he loves you. The timing. The timing of this, okay? Pay attention to the cat thing, okay? He loves you very much. So I said this, and I look at the comments, and you said that too. So you guys kind of said it at the same time. That was kind of cool. And I highlight the comments that I see. So the comments that come on the screen, I personally highlight them. So when I saw that, I highlighted it. But he loves you, and he knows that you do. He knows that you do. Yeah, and the cat thing. I don't know. So those are two things you might have to that you might need to digest on. The cat thing, the Dave and Johnny thing, and he keeps saying my little boy thing. So there's three things in there that I feel like you have to. It'll make sense later. Do you know what I'm saying? The cat thing, the Dave and Johnny. Say hi to Dave and Johnny, and also he's like saying my little boy. I heard him saying those three things. It'll make sense later. So make sure you write it down, okay? And you'll have more connection with him later, of course, too. All right. Okay, and also try to make sure I'm not reading anybody else's loved one here in the room either. But some of those could be symbols too. Crazy for coconuts. Some of those could be symbols as well. Okay. There you go. Thank you. He's connected to my daughter, and they lost a white cat, and he has a son. There it is. Thank you. I felt crazy. I'm like, what's this white cat that he's got in spirit? So, maybe let your daughter know that that he has the cat. Okay, and that's his little boy. Makes sense. I'm getting teary-eyed. Jesus. Perfect. Thank you. Because you know what? Thank you, because it never makes sense to me. It never makes sense to me. It's always like, what am I saying? It's so random, right? So I'm glad it resonates. And yes, he loves you very much. He's a very, very warm guy. Very warm energy. But he's like Chatty Cathy, too. So he talks a lot. So I think you'll hear him. And he matches your energy perfectly. Yes, the reason why I think I'm crazy all the time, I've been doing this for 40, well, I've been in meeting my whole life, but been doing it for professionally for like 12, 13 years. Like it's because it's not me, right? I'm relaying information that's not me. It's so randomized, right? And so yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I hope so. Well, it's not me like being spot on. It's spirit, right? Spirit's spot on. I'm just the messenger. I've taken years to be able to be a good messenger for spirit, and that's my term. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I get that sense of him. He's a great guy. And he's around you a lot, my love. Good energy. All right, well, that's a great way to conclude this beautiful Thursday night. It was a wacky ride, and I had to do something about meat eating, and I hear it a lot, and my perspective on that, and what I feel about this, and understand that it's all for us, and there's no judgment, and we have things in life that are here to continue life, and I would say just as we as light workers, we sacrifice our lives as light workers to help people. And I would think there's levels of consciousness of animals that come in to be a sacrifice to help life continue on this reality too. So, how many of you guys in the room are dedicate your lives to help people and always helping people and put yourselves last to help people? Well, there are other spiritual entities that will put themselves on this earth to feed us, to keep life going, to help us. So understand, it's the evolution of life. And also there's so many different levels of consciousness that contribute, no matter what the severity of the negativity that it is. It's all a perfect cycle for us that we're a part of. And we knew this coming into this reality. We knew this coming in. Okay? So again, love seeing you guys. It's always a pleasure. Those of you guys who want a personal one-on-one reading, it's scottcruzpm.com. The link is in my bio, or not the bio. I'm on YouTube. It's in the description. And I offer mediumship sessions, which is connecting with the loved ones in spirit, as well as life readings, both phone or Zoom. And also a session called Intuition Builder, which is a session that really is to help you develop your own abilities, of course, because I think watching psychics and mediums, you tend to think like, can I do that? We all have the ability and connection to source. We all have connection to spirit. Whether or not you can do it for people, that will take decades to do and to learn and expand on, but you can do it for yourself and those around you. So I love to help people develop their own abilities because it solidifies spirit. Okay. And if not, you can catch me here every Thursday and also every Monday on Leading Out Loud. Next week, we're talking about miracles. We've been planning a great show for Monday. Today, we planned the show for Monday, and we have some great ideas, great conversations. So join us on Leading Out Loud. We stream it here on my platform and our other platforms. So next week's show will be great. No guests, no interviewers anymore. We're going to detour away from that route for a while, as you people didn't like the guests. You want us four, so we're going to deliver just us four. Maybe just have a guest on once a month and just bring a different scenario. So thank you all for showing up. Kat, thank you very much. I appreciate your appreciation. Much love to you. And see me on Monday and LOL. You guys are fun. And Daryl, Sydney, Michelle, Eric, my crew, I love you guys so much, and I appreciate you guys stirring up craziness in the chat. You're just a reflection of my crazy energy. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. As you all know, you guys are the gods and goddesses of your own myth. What do you want to create? Much love and blessings to you all. Good night.
He talking about like a Devin or David.
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table or not. You said like something on your end table that you this too.
My God, we're crazy.
Yeah, he's saying hi, baby girl. He's saying hi, baby girl. And is there significance with like image of a rose at all?
He would
Does that make
always
sense?
give me a rose.
Okay, so he's like doing one now. He's saying to work with some sort of like vibrational machine, somehow a way to work with like machinery and vibration.
I work with horses, and there's actually some magnawave therapy that's vibrational.
Tell me something that he told you that came true?
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
So he doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Allow yourself to hear yourself. Allow yourself to feel yourself. Allow yourself to talk to yourself. Allow yourself to respond to yourself. That's looking within.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here?
There's a reason why we're on this timeline. There's a reason why we've chosen to be in this awakening. I say we're going through a spiritual awakening.
So I don't just come out here and talk bull and repeat. I'm living this stuff.